If you want to create a farming type game or a crafting game or a survival game or something like this, you most likely need some kind of toolbar. And in this video I will explain how to make a toolbar that gets a visual representation on the screen like this. I use the mouse wheel to operate it, but you will be able to do it however you want to. I will make another video that will explain a little bit more about the system, like how to expand on it. But yeah, this is a good first step in the right direction if you have this going. So let's get started with the actual event. So this is the first part of the event. It's pretty simple. Like the advanced variable box is a very powerful tool. You can do so much stuff with it. In this case I use it to assign the mouse wheel rotation to a variable. And what this does is this variable will become 1 or -1 depending how your mouse wheel rotates. If you go up, it will be 1. If you go down, it will be basically -1. So what happens if you use your mouse wheel? So in case you go upwards, it will be 1, and like a sound effect plays, which is not important. You can do this however you want to, but this part is important. The tool equipped variable in my case gets increased by 1. This is basically the representation of the tool. So like 1 is a tool, 2 is a tool, 3 is a tool, and so on. So every time you use your mouse wheel, basically your tool changes. And if you go up with the mouse wheel, the number will increase. Then I execute a common event that basically is the visual representation of the system. So you see the tool you have now equipped. I will show you this event in a second. Then we need to check if, like for example, you have 5 tools. You don't want this variable to be higher than 5. So you check if it's higher than 5. If not, then it doesn't matter. But if it's, for example, 6, in my case, I went back to 1. So my tools go in a circle basically. And then a little wait command just for game feel, like you need to adjust this however you need it. Yeah, so this happens if you use your mouse wheel upwards, and the same basically in the other direction. If tool scroll is -1, and then here is a difference. This gets decreased instead of increased. And you need to check again if this variable is in range of your tools. Like if you decrease it, you don't want it to be smaller than 1. So if it is indeed smaller than 1, you want to go back to 5, for example, if you want to do it in a circle like I did. So this is basically just, I mean, it's pretty simple and like the brain behind changing your equipment, like your tools, not your equipment, your tools. So now we're gonna check out the visual representation here in this event. It's again pretty simple. You need to check which tool you have equipped. So the variable from earlier basically gets checked if it's 1. you want to display one tool. If it's 2, you want to display another tool. So in this case, 1 is shovel for me, 2 is axe, and so on. I have a little bit more here, and I will explain why. I have a watering can here in this place, and a watering can in most games has some capacity of water to water your crops, and I do it by overlaying basically a variable. It's just a number on top of it that shows how much more I can use it before it's empty. And if you do something like this, like an overlay on an existing picture, you want to make sure that this number here is higher than the number on the picture you want to overlay. This is important because you need a higher number in order to be on top of it, basically. So you don't need this variable on any other tool, so you want to delete it basically on any other tool. This is why I use this command on every other tool basically. And make sure if you want to copy my system that you use the same number for the main tool picture, so it gets overwritten every time you change it. It's just easier this way. So the next 2 pictures I have in this event, you can just ignore them. You don't need it. I just like how it looks. It basically shows the next to the right and next to the left, basically. So you always have 3 tools on your screen, like the main one you have equipped, and then smaller. I mean, you saw it in the intro, basically, what I mean. You don't need those, but you can also do something like this. You need to play around with the positioning and the size of them to make it look good. You will have your own graphics, so just play around a little bit and you will see if it looks good or not, and just play a little bit and it will be fine eventually. So that's about it. Now if you copy this, you have a toolbar that you can control with your mouse. You can also use this. You can use this variable basically to check different events. For example, if you have a tree and you want the tree to check if the player has an axe equipped, you basically just need to check if this variable is equal to whatever number you have your axe on, and there you go. You can now check also if you have a certain tool equipped. In the next video I will expand on this whole system with a level up system. So how to manage the data on each tool with array variables. I will explain a little bit about them. And yeah, because this is a little bit empty as a system. I mean, you can use it for a little game, but if you want to make a proper survival or crafting game, you want some kind of, I don't know, like a mastery system for your tools. And I will explain exactly this feature in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Bye.